Right. So anything that you appreciate, you get increased energy with. You have optimism for it, man. Like, man, this is a really nice bag. This is really nice. Everything else. And then you have empathy, which don't mess up my stuff because it's valuable. You don't know what it took to put this together. Look at these buttons. Look at this. Look at that. So now, here's the deal. What you'll find out, how do you know that you're desensitized and your appreciation is dropping? One is when your intensity or your energy around it drops. When your intensity or your energy around it starts to fail off, that lets you know that you're losing your appreciation. You always know that things are not being appreciated when you start throwing it in the back seat. When you leave it somewhere, forget about it. When you put it, when it really don't matter whether you have it or not. That's when appreciation is waning. Because if you appreciate it, you get energy. If you don't appreciate it, then the energy for it filters out after a while, because the newness of it turns into familiarity, where now it's not new, it's just what it is. Well, you have to be careful, because when we talk about this gift that God has given you, the greatest gift that God has ever given you is your pastor. But here's the deal. So that means this. You've got to always ask yourself, how do I really feel about God's gift? Because when God speaks to me through my gift, do I get decreased energy? When my gift walks into the room, am I looking for, oh Lord, here we go? Or am I optimistic? When my gift is in there and when I appreciate it, do I want to be around it, or do I want to avoid it at all costs? These things are letting you know that your appreciation is starting to. So you never have to ask anybody, do you appreciate it? You just have to do an internal check. An internal check, because appreciation means I like you. Appreciation means I have energy with you. Appreciation means I want to be around you. Appreciation means that I like being in the same space with you. Appreciation means that when there's a vibe, when we're together, that's when there's appreciation. And when I'm not appreciating you, that means I would rather not you be in this space. And I would rather not be in your space. Now, why is it important? Because the greatest gift God's given you is your shepherd. Look at Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you shepherds, right? So look at your neighbor and say, your pastor is the gift. How do we know it's a gift? That word give in Hebrew is Nathan. Nathan in Hebrew means, listen, I set up, I ascribed, I dedicated, I appointed, and I assigned. So you have to remember this, and this is so major for us. And I want you to put this down in your phones. I want you to write this down in your notes. I want you to write this down somewhere where you can always refer to it. You have to remember this, that the connection to you and your pastor is spiritual. Your pastoral relationship is a spiritual connection. When you make it a communal relationship, you're going to take it for granted. When you make that relationship totally relational, I like him, he likes me, then you're going to take it for granted. When you make a community, he's a part of what we do, we like what he does, and he likes what we do, then you take it for granted. The relationship between you and your pastor is spiritual. The minute that you stop recognizing that is a spiritual relationship is the minute you're going to stop appreciating it. Why? Because he get on your nerves. Because he's going to ask you for it. Because he's going to demand that you do something different. Now, I want you to understand something. See, you got to get me here. This right here, most parishioners fall out of the church just because of this point right here. They forget that this relationship is spiritual. It is spiritual. Dr. Moody, what do you mean it's spiritual? Why? It says, I will give you shepherds, right? According to my heart. That word heart is lev, right? Lev in the Hebrew. Lev, it literally means the inner mind. So this shepherd that I'm giving you, or this gift that I'm giving you, this gift that I'm appointing you is from my inner mind, my understanding, my knowledge, my thinking, my inclinations, and the determination of my will. That means when I thought about you, I thought about this gift. And I'm going to assign this gift to you. I am assigning this gift to you. See, understand something. You can't pick your parents. And the parents, listen, it's just a roll of dice DNA-wise when we have you. We hope you get all the good ones. But here's the deal. I have stewardship over that child, and you have to reverence and respect me as your parent, right? However, that parental relationship is only in existence while you're on this earth. That parental relationship that you value so much in heaven is going to be your brother and sister. So you have to value your pastoral relationship, get this, greater than your parental relationship. Why did it get quiet? Let me tell you, because we got to argue this, all right? So I'm going to argue with you because I saw there was a pushback. I love pushback because I got an argument for you. So now, it says that these pastors, these shepherds are given according to my heart, right? They come from my inner mind. They come from my understanding. So that gift comes from God, right? Now, get this. So then the question is, if the gift comes from God, where is God? Isaiah 57:15. Thus says the high and lofty one who inhabits eternity, whose name, so wait a minute. That means that God says, I'm in eternity and I am holy. So any gift that comes from eternity. So this pastoral gift comes from outside of time. It comes from before I was born. It comes from before I was thought of. That God in his inner mind said, I need to give them a gift like this. I say how they're going to be, and I'm the present. So I'm in past, I'm in eternity, I'm in the future, I'm in right now, and I look at where they are right now, and I say they need this kind of pastor. So let me shape this kind of pastor, and then put them together so that in 2024 they can operate like this. When you see your pastor, you see customized jewelry. When you see your pastor, you see tailor-made outfit. You can't get your pastor off the rack. You don't go to Zales and get your pastor. Your pastor is customized, which means God looked at you and he saw what you needed, right? But now, so if God inhabits eternity, any gift that came from his inner mind, his understanding, had to originate in eternity. So my pastor comes from God who's in eternity. So this is the eternal personality. God said, wait a minute, I'm going to make him just for you. Now, Dr. Moody, do you really believe that? For Ephesians 4:11. He himself, capitalized, everybody can't be this. Gave some to be what? Apostles. Now, wait a minute. So I can admit the Bible tells me that my pastor comes from he himself. And if I look at this in context, what you find out is that when it says he himself in Ephesians 4:11, it's also referring to as Jesus ascended. So wait a minute. As he ascended into heaven, these gifts, wait a minute, I'm saying it again. As he ascended, these gifts, where'd they come from? Heaven. So when I look at my pastor, I'm looking at a gift from heaven. Your problem is you look at your pastor as a good dude you like. You look at your pastor as a nice person that helps you. You look at your pastor as a nice counselor, a nice guide, a spiritual mentor. We have all those terms, but you don't look at him as an eternal gift. So if I don't look at him as an eternal gift, that means that I will depreciate him because I don't recognize the quality and the value and the work that it took to bring him to me. Am I making sense? And it says this, and he himself gave, right? In Ephesians 4:11, he himself gave, right? That word gave in the Greek is didomai. Didomai means this, to give something to someone, to bestow a gift. To give it or commit it to somebody to appoint an office. So God says, your pastoral relationship is something that I assigned you to. You have been assigned this relationship. So I want you to understand. So your pastoral gift. Now I understand. Our problem is this. The world's problem is this. We see pastors as an occupation, not as a gift. And so I see it as your job. I don't see you as my gift. I see you as a person who decided to do ministry, and a person in some churches that I can vote in or vote out. And in many churches, a person who I can leave and go find me another one. You can't do this. Why? Because listen, he says, I give you these guys according to my heart. But give means I dedicated them, I appointed them, or I assigned them to you. So when I look at my pastor, I don't see my friend. When I look at my pastor, I don't see my boy. When I look at my pastor, I see my assignment. And as long as I see my assignment, I'll treat them right. As long as I see my assignment, I'll operate right. But the minute I get them out of assignment role and put them in friend role, buddy role, helper role, counselor role, then now I have taken the quality and the value down, and I have a problem now appreciating them. Because I say there are some things that they shouldn't ask for. And there are some things that I shouldn't have to do. Why? Because they are my friend. They are a man. They are a woman. They are that. But when I see them as a gift and a spiritual assignment that I have to answer for, that means you're going to have to talk to God about how you handled his gift. Go ahead. Now get this, Dr. Moody. So are you arguing that this gift came from a space in eternity? Yes, I am. I'm arguing that. And so I have to deal with an eternal assignment when I see my pastor. Yes, you do. But get this. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to blow your mind. So if you can imagine, the gift starts in eternity. And it goes through time. Right? My entire lifetime. But your pastoral relationship is the only relationship that you'll ever have in life that goes from eternity to eternity. There is no other relationship in life that you have. What do you mean? Even with your wife, your spouse, they asked Jesus, this lady's husband died. And then she married another guy. And now which one, when they go to heaven, is she going to be with? Because she got two husbands. And so which one is she going to be with, Jesus? And Jesus says neither. He says, these things, this is not a heavenly issue. In heaven, we don't have those kind of relationships in heaven. So your boo, your spouse, your honey, your boo bear is not going to be your boo bear in heaven. They're going to be brother and sister. Your kids are not going to be little Leroy and little Leona. Leroy Jr. and Leona Jr. Your kids are going to be brother and sister Leroy. Brother and sister Leona. So wait a minute. My kids' relationship don't last from eternity to eternity. My marital relationship don't last from eternity to eternity. And my worker relationships, my neighbors, there is no other relationship on earth that I can signify that has an eternal beginning. Am I making sense? How do you argue that, Dr. Moody? I'm preaching again. Today is National Preaching Day.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you like this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to the R.O.C.K ATX on YouTube and follow the R.O.C.K ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all the R.O.C.K is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.